Afternoon, friends. Welcome to our Friday's deliberations on certain economic issues. We welcome you and would request you to attend our every Friday's deliberations. We'll be deliberating mostly on common topics which are of great importance to the common people but related to finance and economics. Friends, investment is a very important area for everybody. And COVID-19 has given us a great lesson. COVID-19 has given us a great lesson about investments requirement, about savings, about health insurance policies, etc. So, we have to take care of the investments, we have to take care of our savings to face the rainy days. Very, very important area. Now, regarding investments, there are many options. All of us know that normally we follow the conservative options like keeping money in the banks, fixed deposits, post office savings schemes, NSC, MIS, public provident fund, savings account. These are all conventional areas of investments. But friends, time has come to understand these conventional investments may not provide our most required earnings to tackle the inflations. Now, you all agree that if your inflation is 7 to 8%, and if you get a fixed deposit interest of 6.5 or 7%, does it mean anything? You basically earn nothing. Rather, you are diluting your money. This is what even today it is there. As you may be aware that what is interest? I have explained in my last class that interest is a composition of three factors. Number one is inflation. Number two is the sacrifice which you follow because of keeping money for a period of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So there is a cost. And third important cost is the risk. Wherever you put money, there is some amount of risk. Even if you put in money in fixed deposit in a public sector bank, you get a guarantee to the extent of only 5 lakhs. So therefore, the cost of these three elements are actually interest. But if you consider the inflation itself, it is 80 to 90%. But if you keep money in a fixed deposits in a bank account or post office, you get 6.5 to 7%. That means you cannot recover the inflation part also. Forget about your cost of risk and cost of sacrifice. So therefore, while FD etc. are very helpful to give you a steady cash flow, whatever it may be, 5-6%, is a steady cash flow. Risk element is very less. But you have to think about investments in securities market to certain extent. maybe 25 to 30% of your investable surplus, you can think for putting it in the stock exchange, in the stock market, in good and fundamentally strong securities. Why? Because it has been established totally that investment in security market gives you much more money than what you get conventionally from FD and other conventional deposits. But market risk is always there. Market risk, I will talk that market rate is in a short term. It cannot guarantee. But if you take in a longer view, you will find that the increment, the increase in earning is phenomenally higher than as compared to the normal deposits. Now, while doing that, we have tabulated 10 important guidelines to basically take cognizance when you do the investments. 10 important principles. And I can tell you, and I can assure you, because of my last 35 to 40 years experience, that you cannot go wrong if you follow these 10 principles. And at the same time, you can make a reasonable amount of good money from the stock market. Today, if you know what is the value of the stock market today, you know, the market cap of all securities today is around 265 lakh crores. 265 lakh crores. Again I say 265 lakh crores. And if you know what is the total amount people kept in the fixed deposits, it is around 160 lakh crores. 160 lakh crores. That means people have kept more money in the stock market, and the index is now in the range of 62,000. So therefore, friends, although market is certainly a risky proposition in the short run, but in the long run, you will always get a much favorable income. Now you have to follow 10 specific guidelines which I have prepared only for you. And if you maintain these guidelines, then you will never go wrong. Number one, do not come to the share market or security market for a short-term period. Never. If you think, no, I'll come for 2 or 3 months or 6 months or 1 year and then I'll make money and I'll leave. No, this is not possible. Always come at least for 3 to 5 years or 10 years horizon. Then only you will see the profit. In the short run, it may happen like yesterday there was a fall of 800 points in the Sensex. Those who have money, they have put their money, they have started buying the shares, good shares. So therefore, in the short run, do not compute the income. Always go for a long term. So first principle, that if you come to the market, you will always come for a long term period. Next, second very important area, that you have to believe India growth story. You have to believe. If you do not believe that India can grow, because country's growth and market growth are highly linked. We personally feel India is the only country today, yes, I am telling you with much more pride, that it is the only country of hope, it is the only country of aspirations, it is the only country of expectations, it is the only country of growth. If you believe that India can achieve a 5 trillion economy within 3 to 5 years, or by 20 trillion economy by 2047, That means India can grow with 7 to 8% consistent GDP growth. Please come to the market. If country does not grow, market will not grow. Why India has grown? Why the market cap is around 265 lakh crores? Because India has now become the fifth largest economy in the world. That is what I wanted to tell you. The India growth story is to be a matter to reckon. And those who do not believe that, then they can go to the bank and fixed deposits, etc., etc. Next is that most important area is the always invest in yourself. Third important area, invest in yourself. What it means? Means please try to understand the market. Please try to understand the country's growth. Please try to understand the company's growth. And do not put money because somebody has advised you. Never. Always believe in yourself. So therefore, you can ask me a question, then how I will get these informations about the country? You have to continuously read the business newspapers. If you subscribe one business newspaper, you will get almost all macroeconomic informations. In a share market, macroeconomic informations not only for the country but also for the world are very, very important. And that you have to understand. That means you have to invest in yourself. You just cannot make any money in the long run just because somebody has advised you, or you have seen some sort of report, financial report suggested by somebody, and you have put the money. Never do that. Always believe in your own calculations and understand it. And I am telling you, if you start reading these Economic Times or Business Standard or Mint type of paper, within 6 months you will understand how the country is going, how the world is growing, and how the companies are growing. So this is a very, very important area. Fourth important area is that never believe that you could be a crorepati overnight. If somebody says, yes, through stock market you could be a crorepati within 7 days or 1 month or 2 months, never believe. Please ignore. There is no shortcut method. You have to go through the rope and you have to follow the policies. And obviously, you can certainly make much more money. That much I can tell you, provided you follow my 10 different principles. So, fourth issue is that never ever believe that you can be a crorepati because of investing in money. Now, fifth point, very important point, is the always define your risks and goal. Means how much amount you want to put, how much amount you need in the mid-term or in the short term or in the long term. A quite visible option should be very clear about you, and how much amount you can really put by way of risks. Risk investments. Never put your 100% investment in stock market, even if you go for a long term. According to my feeling, you can maximum put 25 to 30% of your investable surplus, not beyond that, but through these policies. So therefore, you have to clarify that how much amount you can put it in this area. Seventh is that always go for a fundamentally strong company. Never ever go for a small company or a paper company or anything like that. Always go for a fundamentally strong company. Now your question could be, how do I understand what is fundamentally strong? I'll come to that. But one very important decisions you have to take today, that never ever invest any money in a stock which are not fundamentally strong. How to determine a fundamentally strong? I will go on telling you. Most important area is that see the industry first. For example, I am giving you one industry called cement industry. Is the industry is growing? Never go to the company first. First you see under which specific industry a specific company falls. I am giving another example. Say for example, paint industry. Is it growing? Market answer is yes, because it is highly linked with the consumptions, it is highly linked with the real estate developments, and country is growing around 7 to 8%. Real estate growth is much more than that. So therefore, if the real estate grows, the paint industry will also grow. So one answer is that yes, industry is growing. Now you can easily find out which is the best company in terms of profitability, in terms of growth, in terms of book value, in terms of moving average. You can easily find out of the all paint companies. Say for example, there are 5 or 6 paint companies. Asian Paint is there, Barjar is there, Nerolac is there. So there are AkzoNobel is there. There are several companies, and you can always find out which is the best company out of these 6 or 7. According to my personal feeling, it is a personal. Obviously, Asian Paint is the giant. You can say it is a proxy company. What is known as proxy company in investment? The country which represents country. Like if you think about paint, first name will appear is paint, Asian Paints. If you think about India, country India, about automobiles, the only company will come in your dream is that Maruti Suzuki. If you think about the best company in India in power segment, obviously NTPC will come. If you talk about the leather industry, shoe industry in India, which is the proxy company? Bata. So therefore, these are the good companies not only in terms of product, but in terms of profitability, in terms of corporate governance, in terms of ESG, environment, safety, health, in terms of making payment to the shareholders by way of dividend. These are the informations you have to gather from the market by way of continuously reading the various journals and newspapers. So therefore, these are the fundamentally strong company. Say for example, in FMCG, the 2 fundamentally strong companies are there. We get very easily. One is ITC, another is HUL. So whenever you talk FMCG about India, you have to take the name of HUL or ITC. So there are similar other companies that if you to talk about the automobiles in India, you have to think only one company, that is Maruti Suzuki. There are other companies are also there. Tata Motors are there. Mahindras are there. But these are proxy companies. Those companies are equally good. But I am suggesting always go for a most fundamentally strong company. I know many people do not invest in these companies because appreciation is very less. But it's a strong company, it is a defensive company. And if you are a beginner in the stock market, you have to be very defensive to start with, gain experience. Then you take a risk to go to the other type of companies, take risk. But first you understand, and it is always better to be defensive at the very beginning. Next is that 8th, you please define a strategy and follow 50-30-20 strategy. This is in strategy in managing your finance. Those who are management students, they know what is 50-30-20 strategy. Many people do not understand how they will handle their finance. Whatever they are getting money, salary or any remunerations, They spend money without having any budget, without having any specific objective. Now, in this case, world recognized scheme is that 50-30-20 strategy. That also you follow. What is that 50? 50% of your total net earning should be spent only on your basic requirements without which you cannot survive, like your food, your shelter, tuition expenses, transportation expenses. These are essentials. And then 30 is your need. Need means which are discriminatory. You can do it, you may not do it. Discretion, it based on discretions. Like you want to buy a automobile, it's a discretions. You put 30% of your total earning for discretion and balance 20% is must for savings. So 50-30-20 strategy. I know there are many people who will say, sir, I cannot differentiate between essentials and need. So for them, 80-20 strategy. That means you are permitted to spend 80% of your net earning and 20% you have to go for compulsory savings. And savings and investments will go side by side. Now, you have seen that ninth, you should always remember that market, when I say market, it means share market, is very sensitive market. It not only considers the company's individual financial position, it also considers the global positions. Suppose yesterday, before yesterday, not suppose, the US Federal Authority, that is US Reserve Bank of India, decided to increase the rate on loan or borrowing by 50 basis points, that is 0.5%. This was the decision in USA. But yesterday there was a sudden fall of 800 points in Sensex. Why? Companies have not gone bad overnight. They are still good companies are there. They are running profitably, effectively, no problem from their end, not even 1%. But why market took a very negative sentiment? Because they thought if the interest rate is hiked in RBI, in US, those who invested money, the foreign investors, they will sell their investments in India and put the money in the federal government because that is more safe. So if they increase the rate, federal government increases the rate, they will sell the shares in India, take the money in foreign currency and invest in RBI. This is their thinking. Whether it is actual or not, that is secondary. But within a fraction of a second, market took a beat of 850 basis points. See, these are the things are very, very important. Suppose if there is any untoward event in any parts of the world in the areas of terrorism or all these things, it will impact you. But whenever you enter in a stock market, you must know that this market will behave even for matters which are no way connected with India. Because today it is a global economy and countries are flat. So therefore, if anything happens in a significant country like US, USSR, UK, France, they are the very big economy. Rather G20 countries. G20 countries control 85% of the world GDP. What is the world GDP? About 100 trillion US dollar. That means around 85 trillion dollar is controlled by only 20 companies including India. So if anything happens in those countries, it will impact all over the world. If you are in the market, you should be ready that you can face this problem and still withstand. Like our market faced many problems. Harshad Mahata problem, 2008 problem, everybody knows in USA. There was 96, 97 problem in Singapore, Malaysia, etc., etc. So these problems become, the market is tested, but in the short run there could be some impact. So you should have the ability to absorb it. And last but not the least, 10th point, very important, be greedy when others are little shaky, and be shaky, be fearful when others are greedy in stock market. What it means? Be fearful when others are greedy. Like market is going up, 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 up. People feel it is the high time to buy the shares. They are greedy. They know within a short period I will get some money because market is growing, growing, growing. They are greedy. If you are a good investor, you should keep quiet. You just see the market. That means you have to be fearful because you know within 2 or 3 days market will come down. And be greedy when others are fearful. That means suppose market is coming down, 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 so everybody is selling shares. Normal people. They are fearful. And if you are a prudent investor, you put money that time. So you have to be greedy that time. So be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. It is not my statement. It is the statement of the investor king Warren Buffett. So these are the 10 important guidelines. If you follow strictly, you will find that you will never go wrong. This statement, this lecture will be recorded, is already recorded and it will be put in our YouTube. Please access to that in Facebook also. And also just note down these 10 different guidelines, like never be for a short term, always go for a fundamentally strong company, never ever believe that you could be a crorepati within overnight, how to determine the fundamentally strong company, please invest in yourself, that is, please try to understand about the market, about the country, about the world economy, macro part. Be fearful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. Always follow 50-30-20 strategy in managing your finance. Please remember the COVID days and the uncertainty, the rainy period, and that time we are saved because our government, which provided free rations, and at the same time, so never forget and always remember, market is influenced by many factors and it does not depend only the company performance. You should know that and you should be prepared. Last but not the least, mind that investment in market is a risky propositions that you have to understand, and there is no shortcut way to make money. Please subscribe our YouTube channel and understand almost every day there will be updating on various topics. We have now opened a new class, like 1 minute class, that is very helpful. Our YouTube channel reference is TCN, T for Tata, C for Calcutta, N for Nagpur, TCN Global Official, OFFICIL. Please subscribe and you will get all the notifications almost every day at about 5 to 5:30. Thank you very much for your patient hearing, and please follow our next course of deliberations on next Friday, and we'll let you know the subject, and I'm sure that subject will be very interesting to all of you. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. All the best. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.